Shots right now.
The ultimate goal here is to ensure that suffering patients have access to their medicine.
Attorneys announcing a legal challenge of the new regulations for medical marijuana dispensaries. They say they'll be ready to file suit as soon as they're signed into law. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Ron Zapola.
And I'm Deborah Takahara. The bill's sponsors say when the bill is signed, it'll be the end of the Wild West, as many fly-by-night dispensaries will be unable to abide by the new state law and be forced to shut down.
But dispensary owners say they're not going down without a fight. New tonight, Fox 31's Eli Sokol joins us and has the latest on the legal challenge that lies ahead. Eli?
Yeah, Ron, that's right. A group of attorneys are drawing up this lawsuit. They plan to file for an injunction as soon as this bill is signed into law by Governor Ritter. Now, I spoke with one of the attorneys today, Rob Corey, and he believes that several parts of the new law are actually unconstitutional, specifically the 5-patient limit on caregivers, those who operate outside the state-sanctioned center model, licensing fees on dispensaries that do become state-sanctioned wellness centers, requirements that dispensary owners have at least 2 years of Colorado residency, and local governments being allowed to ban dispensaries outright.
The problem is they are also burdening unfairly and unconstitutionally the exercise of the constitutional right to provide medical marijuana for patients and the access that the patients require and deserve under the Constitution.
The Constitution does protect a patient to have a right who's chronically ill to medical marijuana. The Constitution does not protect the business model or the approach or that people with felonies have the right to be the people running dispensaries.
Senator Chris Romer there says that if and when marijuana itself is legalized, then some of these regulations could be softened. But he says in the meantime, and law enforcement agrees that this is an illegal substance, and even though it is legal in Colorado for medicinal use, it merits right now very heavy regulation, and he's not going to apologize about letting law enforcement get mostly what they want in this bill.
You know, that's the one thing, too. And we saw it yesterday with this mothers group, and I think we're not talking about if marijuana becomes legalized, but when. And all of these other issues will fall into place.
Yeah, they always draw the comparison to legalizing alcohol back in the 20s during Prohibition. They say that people just aren't on board yet. Lawmakers, elected officials, government, law enforcement, they're not on board yet. But Rob Corey will tell you this is going to happen.
Yeah, and aren't they? They're not on board, but you can kind of sense a little bit of a shift heading that direction.
Maybe, and they say it's generational. So as generations get older, and this is something that younger generations have grown up with, maybe this is something that is more likely to see full legalization of marijuana down the road. Right now, though, just trying to figure this thing out.
Yeah, and it's murky, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Eli, thanks. Sure. Well, the North Metro Drug Task Force shuts down an illegal dispensary in Thornton. Officers confiscated more than 3 pounds of marijuana from the shop at Sheldon and Washington. And while officers were searching the shop, a man made a marijuana delivery. That delivery man, Philip Garcia, was arrested, as was the shop's owner, Donald Faltermeyer. Medical marijuana dispensaries are prohibited within the city limits of Thornton.
Former ICE agent Corey Voorhees lost his latest appeal to get his job back.